I think ESCAP plays a unique role in a very diverse region. I work on gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls, and our work has a clear and defined scope for engagement with both our government counterparts and other important stakeholders. For example, in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, decades of progress on gender equality has already been reversed. And what we regrettably witness now is a dramatic rise in cases of domestic violence against women and girls, and an explosion of the hours women and girls spent doing unpaid care work at home, from cleaning, cooking, homeschooling children, and taking care of the sick and the elderly. So because here at ESCAP, we focused on women's economic empowerment in recent years, unpaid care and domestic work has now emerged as one of the largest and growing barriers to women's economic empowerment. We have to address it without delay if we are to achieve the ambitions of the 2030 agenda, and in particular, Sustainable Development Goal number 5, which is on gender equality and the empowerment of all women and girls. So just to give you a brief background, as the COVID-19 pandemic unfolded, we here at ESCAP swiftly swung into action as part of the UN's COVID-19 response. And in collaboration with other regional commissions, we address now the impacts and consequences of the unpaid care and domestic work carried out by women and girls. So we are taking this work forward through several effective prongs. We are establishing our knowledge base through research and analysis. We are convening experts and stakeholders to contribute to the debate and create a community of best practice. We also provide technical assistance and support to governments who are incubating new policy initiatives in this regard. And our work has already been held in high regard by the Asian Committee on Women, and we will be launching a report and policy guidelines on this topic at the upcoming Asian Summit later this year. In the 5 years that I have been working with ESCAP, one of the key moments for me related to my work on gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. As you may know, the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action on Women's Rights is still the most comprehensive and authoritative blueprint to date. And a few years ago, we celebrated its 25th anniversary. And at ESCAP, we review progress of member states every 5th year of the Beijing Declaration. So because it was adopted back in 1994, at the end of 2019, the regional review took place. And at this time, the political climate was tense already with respect to the rights of women and girls. We had experienced several pushbacks on previous progress achieved with respect to, for example, women's reproductive health and rights. So there was an element of needing for ESCAP to push back against this pushback. This is also our words of the words of our UN Secretary General. So when we convened this interministerial conference back in 2019, it took delegates 3 days working into the evening and one all-nighter until a consensus-based declaration could be adopted. And it was fascinating to be part of these negotiations, and most of all heartening that Asia-Pacific countries came out with such a strong commitment to advancing the rights of women and girls in this region. And I was very proud to be part of the effort that led to the adoption of this declaration that now guides our work in the region and my work every day. It's certain that the future is Asian. Asia has already become a powerhouse for economic growth and prosperity. And to build on this greased engine for inclusive and sustainable development require adherence to normative principles and minimum standards, which is why ESCAP, as part of the United Nations family, is well placed to insist on collaboration between countries, the forging of partnerships, and the sharing of best practices in order to ensure that no one is left behind. I work for the UN because of the 3 pillars upon which we base our work: peace and security, human rights, and development. And it is in this race towards a better world that I believe ESCAP is fit for purpose to continue carrying this baton forward for the benefit of all of humanity, but it is in particular amongst the most vulnerable and marginalized in our societies and economies that the UN is counted upon to act. And it is for improving their standard of living that I go to work for ESCAP every day.